There was a man who owned nothing, not his body, not his time, not even the roof over his head. His master twisted his leg just to see what would happen. He said calmly, "You are going to break it." The leg broke. He looked up and said, "Did I not tell you?" No scream, no tears, nothing. I want you to sit with that for 1 second, because most of us fall apart over a text message. Somebody leaves us on read and we replay it for 3 days. A stranger in the comments says one ugly sentence and it ruins our whole afternoon. We carry it into dinner. We carry it into bed. We wake up the next morning and it's still sitting there on our chest. Meanwhile, a man with a broken leg looked his own attacker in the eye and felt nothing move inside him. That gap between him and us, that's not talent. It's not luck. It's not something you're born with. It's a skill. And skills can be built. Something is eating you right now. Maybe it's a person. Maybe it's a memory you can't put down. Maybe it's a version of yourself you're ashamed of. Maybe it's just a quiet feeling that follows you from room to room and you can't even name it. And you keep telling yourself you'll deal with it later, but later never comes, it just gets heavier. Today that changes. I'm going to give you 10 laws. Real ones. Used by men who lost everything and still slept peacefully at night. Slaves, emperors. A man who was ordered to end his own life and spent his final hours calmly teaching his students instead of begging for it. This isn't motivation. Motivation wears off by lunchtime. You watch a video like this one, you feel fired up for an hour, and by tomorrow you're right back where you started. This is different. This is architecture. Something you build, brick by brick, choice by choice. And once it's built, nothing gets through it without your permission. Stay with me until the end, because the last law is the one that actually holds all 9 before it together. Most people stop watching right before the part that changes everything. Don't be most people today. Let's start. Law 1. Your purpose is a wall. Most people think purpose means a job title or a big house or some future version of success. That's not it. Purpose is the standard you judge every single moment by. Think about how most of us live. We chase a promotion and we feel like a king for 2 weeks. Then someone else gets the next one and we feel like nothing. We start a relationship and we feel complete. It ends and we feel like half a person. That's what happens when your worth is tied to outcomes. Every win inflates you and every loss deflates you, and you spend your whole life bouncing between the two like a leaf in the wind. But there was a man who ruled the most powerful empire on earth, buried children, fought wars on multiple fronts at once, and still wrote in his private journal every night just to remind himself of one thing. Stay anchored to your values. Don't drift. He wasn't writing that for anyone else to read. He was writing it because even an emperor needed the reminder. When your worth is tied to who you're choosing to be right now, nothing outside of you can touch that. A bad diagnosis doesn't shrink you. A betrayal doesn't define you. Because none of it ever reaches the actual core of who you are, unless you let it. Ask yourself one honest question tonight. What will I not betray, no matter what this world does to me? Write the answer down. Not in your notes app where you'll forget it in 3 days. Somewhere you'll actually see it again. That answer is your wall. Return to it every single morning before the world gets a chance to hand you its version of who you should be. That's the whole practice. Law 2. Guard the gate. Every city worth protecting has a gate and a guard. Right now your mind has no guard at all. Every opinion walks in, every bit of bad news walks in, every comparison you make scrolling at midnight walks straight in and sets up a home inside your head. And then you wonder why you feel exhausted before the day even starts. You wake up. Before your feet even touch the floor, you've already checked your phone. In the first 90 seconds of your day, you've absorbed a stranger's opinion, a headline built to scare you, and a photo of someone's life that looks better edited than yours feels lived. That's not an accident. That's a door left wide open all night. Here's the truth nobody tells you. A thought is not you. It's weather. It passes through. You don't have to fight it, and you don't have to obey it either. Just notice it. Name it. This is anxiety. This is jealousy. This is the need to be seen. Then ask yourself, does this thought deserve a seat at my table? If not, let it walk right back out the same door it came in. There's an old line worth remembering here. Everything else in your life belongs to someone or something else eventually. Your time is the one thing that's actually yours. So think about that for a second. If time is the only thing you truly own, then what you let occupy that time, every scroll, every argument you replay, every opinion you let live rent-free in your head, is the most expensive decision you'll make today. Guard the gate, not because the world outside is evil, because it's loud. And loud isn't the same as important. Law 3. Turn the insult into awe. A dying man once heard that someone had been mocking him behind his back. He didn't defend himself. He simply said, "He doesn't even know my worst flaws, or he'd have picked better material." That's not sarcasm. That's a method. Think about the last time someone said something that stung. Your first instinct was probably to defend yourself. Maybe you replayed a comeback in your head for hours afterward that you never even got to say out loud. That's normal. Almost everyone does that. But it's also a complete waste of the moment. When criticism hits you, check if there's truth in it. If there is, mine it. Use it. Get better. That's not weakness. That's the fastest growth you'll ever get, and it's free. If there isn't any truth in it, it was never about you at all. It was about the fear or the jealousy or the unresolved mess living inside the person who said it. Either way you win. Either way you grow, or you stay completely unmoved. And here's the deeper reason criticism destroys most people. It's not the words themselves. It's that most people have no internal standard of their own to check themselves against. So they outsource their entire self-worth to whoever happens to be speaking the loudest about them that day. Don't do that. Build your own standard. Check yourself against it daily. Then let the rest of the world say whatever it wants. Law 4. What blocks you becomes the way. Nothing that happens to you has meaning on its own. The event is just an event. It's neutral. Cold, empty of feeling until your mind decides to fill it with one. A door closing in your face isn't the end of the story. It's just a door. What you do next is the story. Somebody betrays you. Somebody you trusted quietly undermines something you built. That pain is real. I'm not sitting here telling you it isn't. But the person didn't actually touch your character or your worth or your future. They made a choice with their own hands and their own mouth. The wound only becomes real the moment you build it inside your own head and decide to live in it. So the next time something knocks you down, don't ask, "Why did this happen to me?" Ask, what does this make possible now? What is this actually clearing out of my way? Because most of the time the thing that felt like it broke you was actually the thing that redirected you towards something you would have never chosen on your own. If you've made it this far, good. Most people drop off right around here, because this is where it stops being comfortable and starts being real. Keep going. This next one is where it starts getting personal. And before we go further, let me say something plainly. None of this means you stop feeling things. A Stoic isn't a man with no heartbeat. He still feels the loss, he still feels the sting. The difference is he doesn't let the feeling drive the car. He lets it sit in the passenger seat while he keeps his hands on the wheel. That's the entire difference between someone who's strong and someone who's just numb. Law 5. Fear is a confession. Every fear you carry is telling on you. It's confessing exactly where you've handed your power away. Afraid someone won't like you. You've made their opinion worth more than your own. Afraid of failing. You've decided outcomes matter more than character. Afraid of being forgotten. You've decided time matters more than how you spend it. Shame works the same way, but it's even sneakier. Fear tells you something out there is dangerous. Shame tells you that you are the danger, that you are the problem, not the situation, not the moment. And once you believe that, you start hiding pieces of yourself from the world just to avoid being seen clearly. But here's the thing almost nobody tells you about shame. You are not your past actions. You are your next choice. Every single moment is a new trial, and the jury is never permanently fixed. The shame loosens its grip the second you stop defending who you used to be, and start fully committing to who you're becoming right now, not gradually. Now, name the fear out loud tonight. Don't run from it. Just say it plainly. Once you see clearly what you've been afraid of, you'll see just as clearly what you've been giving away for free. Law 6. Rehearse the worst before it comes. This one feels strange the first time you try it, but every morning, picture what could actually go wrong today. Not to scare yourself, to disarm it. A mind that has already walked through the worst version of a day in its imagination is not shaken when a rough version of that day shows up in real life. We were basically taught the opposite growing up. Visualize success. Think positive. Attract good outcomes. And that's part of why so many people shatter the second reality, doesn't cooperate with the picture in their head. They never rehearse the fall. So when it actually comes, it feels like the world betrayed them personally. Try it tonight before you sleep. Ask what's the worst realistic thing tomorrow could bring. Sit with the answer for 30 seconds. Don't flinch. Don't rush past it. A mind that has already survived the fire once inside itself does not fear the fire outside. Law 7. The event is neutral. You are not. Two people can go through the exact same storm. One is destroyed by it. One is shaped by it. The storm didn't change. Only the response did. Two people lose the same job on the same day. One spirals for 6 months and tells everyone how unfair the world is. The other treats it as the push they secretly needed and ends up somewhere better within a year. Same event. Same amount of loss on paper, completely different outcome. The difference was never the storm. It was what each of them decided to do inside the 2 seconds right after it hit. There's a tiny gap between something happening to you and how you react to it. Most people never even notice that gap exists. They go straight from the trigger to the reaction like there was never a choice involved at all. But that gap, small as it is the only place real freedom lives. The next time something hits you hard, pause there for 2 seconds, just 2, and ask, who do I actually want to be right now? Not who does my anger want me to be? Who do I choose to be? That question alone, asked consistently enough, will change more about your life than any amount of motivation ever could. We're 2/3 of the way through now. If you've caught yourself nodding at even one of these so far, don't just nod. Actually try it today. Knowledge you don't use is just entertainment. And you didn't come here for entertainment. Law 8. Sort your world into 2 piles. Everything in your life belongs to one of 2 piles. What you control and what you don't. Your effort, your honesty, your next choice, that's yours. The traffic, the diagnosis, what someone thinks of you, none of that was ever yours to control in the first place. You cannot control whether someone loves you back. You cannot control whether your work gets recognized. You cannot control whether the flight gets delayed or the market crashes or your neighbor stays quiet after 10 at night. What you can control is your response to every single one of those things, without exception. Almost every ounce of unnecessary suffering in a human life comes from confusing these 2 piles. People pour their entire energy into fighting battles they were never going to win, because the outcome was never theirs to decide in the first place. So tonight, take 5 minutes and actually sort your worries into the 2 columns. You'll be shocked how much of what's been keeping you up doesn't even belong to you. And once you stop fighting for it, all that energy is free to go somewhere that actually matters. Law 9. Stop waiting. You're spending. While you keep waiting for the right moment, life keeps moving whether you're ready or not. That version of you that you keep promising to become someday isn't a date on a calendar. It doesn't arrive on its own. Think about how much of your life has already passed while your mind was somewhere else entirely, replaying an old argument, pre-living a disaster that never even happened, waiting for the perfect moment to finally become the person you already know you should be. That moment was never coming to find you. You were always going to have to walk toward it yourself. You are not waiting right now. You are spending. Every day you delay becoming who you actually want to be is a day permanently gone. Not paused. Gone. And it's not coming back no matter how much you wish it would. Law 10. Build the inner citadel. This is where everything we talked about today actually lands. There's a place inside every one of us that nothing can reach. Not rejection, not failure, not a diagnosis, not the worst thing anyone has ever said about you. It's not given to you at birth. It's built. One paused reaction at a time, one chosen response at a time, one moment where you didn't take the bait. Think of it like a fortress inside a fortress. The last room. The one that can't be taken even when everything outside of it has already fallen apart. It exists inside you right now, whether you've found it yet or not. Every time you guard your mind, you're stacking one more brick onto its wall. Every time you choose your response instead of reacting on instinct, you're reinforcing the gate. Every time you let go of something you were never able to control anyway, you're clearing out the space around it so nothing can sneak in the back way. The man who had his leg broken didn't have anything left in this world that could be taken from him. Not because he had nothing to lose. He had already built a place inside himself that loss simply couldn't reach. That's why he could look at the man who broke his leg and feel absolutely nothing shift inside him. You can build that same place. Not someday. Starting with the next hard moment you face today. Maybe that moment comes in an hour. Maybe it comes tomorrow morning. When it comes, you'll know exactly what to do with it. So here's what I actually want you to do with everything I just gave you. The next time someone says something that stings, pause before you respond. The next time a plan falls apart in front of you, ask what this makes possible instead of asking why this happened to you. The next time you feel that old familiar fear creeping back in, name it out loud and watch how much smaller it gets the moment it has a name. None of these 10 laws work if you just nod along and move on with your day like this was another video you watched and forgot by tomorrow. They only work in the moment you're actually tested. That's the whole game. Not understanding them. Using them. The world isn't going to stop testing you after this video ends. People will still disappoint you. Life will still hand you things you never asked for and never planned around. But none of that has to hit you the same way it used to. Because now you understand something most people will spend their entire lives never understanding. It was never the storm. It was always your relationship to the storm. And that relationship is completely and entirely yours to change, starting today. Tell me in the comments which one of these 10 hit you the hardest. I actually read every single one. And if something in this video reached something real in you today, stay close. Subscribe, because what we're building here doesn't stop with this video. This was just the beginning.